A single there. Will bring Suri on strike now. Played alongside, was in fact in the squad alongside Suresh Raina and the others. Robin Singh, their head coach, the director of cricket, the Emirates Cricket Board, has worked a lot with these boys. Prepared them to qualify for the World Cup. And these two games will definitely help them fine-tune those points that have to be ironed out. Dot ball to end the over. First over gone, 3 for none. Right, so this is how the Bangladesh batting card looks like. Miraz 46 today. Then the others got starts. Sabir, Litton, Afif. Musaddiq stayed on for some time, and then Yasir and Sohan, they finished off well for their side. Wasim will be on strike. 2 or 4 doesn't do justice to his strike rate of 154. I'm sure he would want to change that. Taskin got into the side today. 38 matches, 25 wickets. Best of 2 of 12. This is a fantastic hop at the start.
Ooh, shape away from Taskin Ahmed. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes on this surface because he's got good pace. Bowls a strong ball, looks to hit hard into the wicket. Missed him in the first game, but very interesting to see how he goes here. However, with the extra pace, doesn't get the ball in the right areas, then it's also quite easy for the batsman to get the ball away, in particular in these first 6 overs.
Well, yes, that'll be the advantage. At the same time, extra pace. Something that UAE will... Oh, what a delivery there. Shaping off really well after pitching. I think it's a good exercise for the UAE boys to play some really raw pace before they get into the Australian wickets with some real pace.
Yeah, they'll have real pace they have to deal with. They'll have the extra bounce as well of the Australian conditions. Preparation will be crucial for them. Coach Robin Singh earlier talking about 3 practice matches ahead of the 2 World Cup official warm-up games. By the time they get to the World Cup, they would have get to their qualifying rounds. They would have played 5 matches in Australian conditions. That will be very key, of course, in preparing the batsmen. And you'll find often the associate nations, when they are elevated to World Cups or when they play against some of the stronger teams, batters do struggle with that pace because they don't face that every day. True players often as the other teams, so that'll be very crucial for them.
How did that miss? How did that miss the bat? Taskin knows what he's bowled. It's a phenomenal delivery coming into Chirag Suri. That'll wake him up.
He's pitched it up just a little bit more than the one before. And that's why he's drawn the batter into the stroke a little bit. The ball before, because it was back of a length, he had time to pull the bat away. This time, looked like he pulled the bat away, but he actually played at that. Try and just pitching that ball up a little bit. Not too much. Give him less time to be able to react. There, that's the length you want to be. Got a good start, Taskin Ahmed.
It's a very, very interesting over. If you're a fan of some good seam movement, this is the over that you should be keeping your eyes on, and this is the man that your eyes should be on completely. Chirag Suri, what will he do on the last delivery? Will he let the ball sail away, or will he try and play? One last delivery. One last delivery. Oh, he missed it. He went for that. There was a slip in place. Chirag Suri gets a boundary, and that is the end of the over with a 4. 8 without loss, 2 overs gone.
তাড়াতাড়ি ভাই, উইকেট বয়েজ, তাড়াতাড়ি জায়গায় চলে আসিস।
2 overs, 8 without loss. UAE chasing 170. Suri getting a boundary on that last delivery of the Taskin over. Some runs off a bowler of that category give you some amount of confidence. Sizable crowd.
Ball Nasum.
Nasum Ahmed comes into the attack. Oh, bottom edge. It's just missed the leg stump. Get the single.
Nasum. World class, Nasum. মাথায় রাখবি এটা।
The backward square leg long off to boundary riders.
Hey!
Nasum Ahmed
boy, get out, Saib. Get for it, Saib.
wanting to get through this over quickly. Couple of dots in the single already. Pressure.
Nasum.
It's opening pair for UAE. Bowled quick, just getting that ball to skid onto the batsman. Last couple of deliveries are key. Bowled well, and make sure that he finishes the over well as well.
Well, yeah. 4 deliveries, just 1 run. Now he's gone big. There's a chance. Nasum says, I'll take it, and he takes it. End of Chirag Suri. He got a boundary in the previous over, but couldn't stay long against the spinner. UAE lose their first 9 for 1, and Chirag Suri has to depart.
Yeah, it's the pressure from those first 4 deliveries in the over. Dot, single, dot, dot. That's what's made him play that big shot. Good bowling change from the captain. Well bowled when he's come into the attack, Nasum Ahmed. He gets a crucial wicket. Chirag Suri goes for 5. UAE 9 for 1.
Anil Lakra comes in to replace Chirag. 4 matches for him, 39 runs. He is a new addition to the side. Fared really well on his ODI debut. Very stylish left-handed batter. 9 for 1 after 3. 9 for 1 for UAE in 3 overs. Not a very impressive start. Not something that they expected. But you can't really blame them. Some fantastic bowling coming in from Bangladesh. Ibadat has been brought into attack. It's changing every single over.
Yeah, ringing the changes. Hassan.
The call is for 2, but they'll satisfy with just 1.
I would have been very surprised if I'd seen them come back for 2 there. Ball with the extra pace from Ibadat got to the third man fielder pretty quickly, even though there was the fumble, a hand that slowed it down.
Lakra will be on strike. Right hand, left hand combination. It's said that it does trouble the bowlers. It doesn't look like Ibadat is troubled too much. He's bowled well.
Yeah, it just looked like there was a bit of extra bounce in that last delivery. Handled well in the end by Aaron Lakra. The wicket where he's looking to go is over that mid-wicket fielder, because there's acres of space behind him and then long on. Ball getting very high on the bat. Asum told everybody to stay away. I'm going to take the catch. Did exactly that. Nice, quick from Ibadat.
1 for the over is what the umpire signals, and that's some serious amount of practical tutorial going on how to duck underneath the ball when these lads go on to play on some Aussie wickets.
The thing about T20 cricket is you can't duck too many. You've got to try and get some runs. Of course, they've just lost a wicket. Ibadat's come into the attack. Have a look. Can afford to get under 1 or 2. Side edge. Carry through to the keeper.
When you lose a wicket early on in a big chase, it does put you on the back foot. Then again, that's not in the character of Wasim to get bottled down. He is a fearless batter. Probably just trying to gauge in, trying to soak in the atmosphere. Probably trying to conserve his wicket at the same time. Can't do all of that together when you're playing a T20 and when you're trying to chase 170.
Indeed. Just looking at the comparative scores. The ball to go in the 4th over. Bangladesh were at 27 for 1. UAE just 11 for 1 at this stage. That pressure will be mounting. Weight on this man's shoulders. Dot to finish. A good over, the 4th one. Just 2 runs coming from it. UAE 11 for 1.
So where can you watch this? Bunch of places recast, telecasting in over 80 countries around the world. Atsrangi YouTube channel, View Sport YouTube channels, and on Blitz TV in Pakistan, Jio Super in Pakistan, Ghazi TV in Bangladesh, Dubai TV here in the UAE. Rest of the world, Channel Sports HD. A lot of cricketing action. A lot of eyes on these young lads. "11 for 1. That's Ahmed Raza in the center there. former captain of the UAE national side.
Oh, misfield. Taskin Ahmed just lifting the head before he collected the ball. That'll allow UAE to hit a single.
Well, yeah, almost felt like they were stuck in that limbo of the Nelson. 11 for 1, 3 ones none the way. Directed might have probably caused some issues, but not here.
Done well to pick that up. Right, direct hit would have made things interesting. Pulled away. Fielder running in from deep mid wicket. Does a sterling job on the boundary. Keeps it to just 1.
He wanted the second after the first one. The call was for 2. He was ready. But Arden had gone deep inside the crease. For him then to turn around for the second. Wasim's gone big. And is that the first 6 of the innings? It is. UAE get their first 6 and get on to the score of 20. Oh, there's someone who's disappointed.
No, he certainly didn't enjoy that, but this is nicely played. Calculated from Wasim, just gave himself a bit of room. Went over the fielder at mid-off, and this time he goes up and over the outside. That's huge. That ball is out of here. So what was looking like a very good over has just been spoilt by those last 2 sixes. 15 from the over, 26 for 1.
Got an opportunity, went down on one knee and sent it packing. A fantastic 6 to end the over. 5 overs gone, 26 for 1.
$26 for 1. Right, so it's a big last over. That was courtesy Wasim, those 2 sixes. He's just picked up on his rate of scoring, but still, it's a fair bit of a challenge for Bangladesh. Now this is Taskin Ahmed. Now this is a contest I like to watch for this because one thing about the nations, the associate nations such as UAE and a few other countries that play at this level, is that they don't really encounter someone who could bowl express pace. Everyone in the 125 to 130, and that's their comfort zone. But throwing somebody who could have some bounce and pace, just like Taskin, just like Ibadat, this is going to be the test. This is something I really like to see how they would cope. And Taskin Ahmed, he's a sharp bowler. He's pretty quick and he bowls at really decent pace. And his first over, and he had a fair bit of pace, had movement as well, bounce, pace, as we said. And you could see, look at the carry through, and look at how he beats the batsman. It's the line, it's the length, and it's also the pace. It's really good bowling, and finally finding that outside edge.
Definitely, and they're facing a quality bowling here. And they're struggling to find those odd boundaries, and even they cannot pick the singles.
Has to be. Yes, it is. Wasim, he was given, he moved inside the line, it was full and going at the stumps, and that looked pretty plumb to me. And Taskin Ahmed going for that full length delivery. Look at where Wasim is. You could see the leg stump, And the chances are that it would be clipping or at least hitting that leg stump. It moved so much across, and I think that was out.
A beautiful piece of bowling here by Taskin. Bowling on the off stump continuously, and this time bought in. And Wasim walks back, making 18, and UAE 27 for 2 after 5.3.
Oh, really? All right, so it's not a good feeling for UAE. It is, how do you pronounce that first name? Eurythia Arvind? Is that the right name?
Yes, so Vritya.
Brithya, okay,
Brithya
Brithya.
Arvind.
It's a V, right? I saw it like a U. I beg your pardon. Arvind, my humble apologies. It's Brithya Arvind. So his strike rate is 134.25. 97 is best. And 2 wickets gone, the 2 openers. And we got the Taskin Ahmed really fired up here, bowling with a lot of pace and bounce. Look at the carry, look at the pace. Now, I would have loved to have spoken about Mohammad Wasim because, unfortunately, let's take a look at his wicket again. Moved across his stumps. One would have felt that it was just slipping down the leg side, but even got across his stumps, it was full. And I just got a glimpse of that leg stump, so to me it looked at least clipping. But tell us a little bit about Mohammad Wasim. I know you were instrumental in bringing him here, and also he was part of your team. That when you ran a club, I believe you enjoyed it. Again, hitting that bat hard.
So definitely, it was way back in 2017 I found this gem playing somewhere in Ajman, and luckily I found him, and since 2017 he is with me, and he had played a couple of seasons for my team, and he's a rare talent. UAE has some records to his name. He has got 2 centuries in T20 International against Ireland, and he has the fastest 50 in Abu Dhabi T10, scoring just in 12 deliveries. So very interesting character, Mohammad Wasim, a powerful batsman and hitter.
Right, last ball of the power plays. This time, just finds a little bit of the outside edge, a single to end the power plays. Not a great power play for the UAE. 28 for 2 at the end of 6. $28 for 2. By comparison, Bangladesh 48 for 1, and that's a confirmation that is the power play been done and dusted. So not a great power play for the UAE, losing 2 wickets and way behind Bangladesh in those first 6 overs. We're going to see some spin from Mosadek. Mosadek Hossein Saikot, 25 matches, 14 wickets, very good economy rate, best of 5 for 20. And for UAE, it's exciting times. We'll talk about it. Punched on the offside. 2 young players, 20-year-olds, Arvind and also Lakra. But let's first take a look at the power play highlights. And this was that first wicket of Suri. He was done by some top balls, but then Mohammad Wasim took to the left-arm spinner, planted him over long off and over mid-wicket. And that gave some meat to that power play before this happened. In the last over of the power play, Taskin Ahmed. Well, UAE will have to step a little bit on the gas. They just can't afford to fall back too much. They need to make sure that they catch up as they go on.
Really becoming a tough chase for UAE. Man in form, Chirag Suri and Mohammad Wasim back in the pavilion. And two youngster Arvind and Lakra. Lakra, who has led the under-19 UAE team, which went to South Africa. And Roshan, he has worked really hard on his fitness. He used to weigh at around 100-105 kgs when he was playing under-19 cricket. But now he's fit and he made his debut this season. He has a very good start in the 50-over format in USA.
Down the wicket, not in control, should be taken easily. And the reverse cut, quite easily taken at extra cover. Lakra goes, pressure building on UAE. One thing is the scoreboard pressure, then also the dot balls by the Bangladesh bowlers who are getting their act together. And UAE under some strife here.
Trying to break the shackles here, Aryan Lakra coming out of the crease and straight into the hands of the fielder. And the score is 29 for 3 after 6.3 UAE.
Well, the captains and the non-strikers in because Rizwan crossed on that shot. Strike rate just over 100. He needs to improve that. The modern T20 game, the modern T20 player, you would expect to have a strike rate in the region of about 120, 130. Arvind on strike, it is done. Pushed through quicker, gave himself too much room outside the off stump, stayed down a little bit as well. And UAE loses another one. This is not a great batting performance. And that dugout tells you a story. They are stunned by the fact that Bangladesh have been picking wickets very, very quickly.
Back-to-back wickets here for Bangladesh, and this time Fritya Arvind making room for himself and clean bowled. And Fritya walks back to just scoring 2 runs of 5 deliveries. Score moves to 29 for 4 after 6.4 overs UAE.
Right, it's Basil Hamid, he's a new batsman at the UAE on 29 for 4 in the 7th over. And Mossadegh on a hat-trick, he's got 2 wickets of consecutive deliveries. Lakra and Arvind, Lakra caught at extra cover. Then Arvind done by a delivery that was pushed through quicker, giving himself room and being bowled, and a slip comes in. Cover saving 1. Extra cover in about 10 yards from the 30-yard circle, so he's mid-wicket. Quite a few fielders outside the 30-yard circle. 5 of them outside the 30-yard circle. Mossadegh got a hat-trick. And straight away in a good area. And Basil Hamid doing well. And this is the wicket of Arvind. Look how low it was. It stayed down. He gave himself room and hit almost the middle of middle stump. So he gets off the mark with a single, but this is turning out to be a very good over from the young off-spinner Mossadegh. 7 overs completed, 2 runs and 2 wickets, 30 for 4, UAE. Let's look at the card. Just Wasim's 18 standing out in single-digit scores. Rizwan here to get off the mark. Hamid on 1. Not a good side for the UAE, Odessa.
Yes, apart from Wasim and Suri, the middle order struggling for the past couple of matches. Not looking so good scorecard for UAE, completely dominated here by the Bangladesh bowlers.
Right, we're going to see a change ball. Now, I don't know whether Shabir Ahmad is considered even a part-timer. I haven't seen him bowl much, but he's bowling here. Looking at the options. Fielded well at short third man, only a single. But it's good to see Bangladesh trying out these options. In T20 cricket, these could be very useful. There could be times that you would want an over or two at a difficult time from someone. And when you have handy players like this, who could put their hands up and do that. Abish. Just a single. Shabir Ahmad looking to bowl leg breaks.
They're in complete control of this match, and why not give it a try? And Sabir into his first over.
To be Shabir Rahman. I keep calling him Shabir Ahmad, but he's Shabir Rahman. Another short delivery, swung away on the leg side. This time it picks the gap, and that's a boundary. That's a welcome boundary for Basil Hamid. Short delivery, rocking on the back foot, dragged it down, and that's a big gap on the leg side. It became quite easy. A boundary.
And big shot and found the gap in mid-wicket and a long on. First boundary in the blade of Basil Hamid.
Saw him bat in that qualifying round in Oman. He looked a pretty decent player. Again, another single this time, but that time he wasn't up against really top teams. He was up against those qualifying teams, which were good. UAE couldn't qualify, but, well, they were up against teams that were almost equal or slightly below them in terms of strength. So let's not underestimate Shabir Rahman. He may not bowl as frequently as one would like, but he's got 6 wickets in his career. And mind you, he's got 6 wickets in under 12 overs, so that's one tremendous strike rate. So no wonder Bangladesh is thinking of bowling him a little bit more, because if you can get 6 wickets in under 12 overs, you've got to be good. 39 for 4.
Not so looking good scorecard here for UAE. 39 for 4 after 8 overs. Only Wasim making it to double digit. Basil Hamid accompanied by captain CP Rizwan.
Mosadek continues. On a hat-trick last time. The single to start off. They're happy with the single. Now what can UAE make out of this? Now they're way behind. They need something like 11 runs and over from here. 130 of 71 balls. So at best, it's a case of competing. It's a case of the exposure. It's a case of the experience. Handling situations. They can go away. It's not about the result. Yes, if they can win, it's great. But it's not about the result. It's about what they learn at this level. Because they're playing in the World Cup. They will be up against really top teams on pitches, so that is going to be tougher than this, with more bounce and pace.
Would have loved to see Zawar Farid getting promoted in today's match. A good batsman, a hard hitter. Single and doubles won't help you. They need to get a couple of boundaries here for the next couple of overs.
Yeah, that's a way to go, but when you're 42 for 4 and Bangladesh bowling well. I think it's more like making sure that you don't lose too many wickets. So let's try and show you the qualifiers of the T20 World Cup. It will happen very shortly in Australia. The Asia Cup champions, Sri Lanka, they're also playing in the qualifiers, let's not forget. So it's going to be a tough qualifier as far as the teams are concerned. That's a good over, just 6 runs off it, 6 singles. 9 overs completed, 45 for 4. Right, these are the qualifying groups. Got Namibia, Netherlands, Sri Lanka and UAE in one. Group B, Ireland, Scotland, West Indies and Zimbabwe. Now, Sri Lanka and West Indies. It's pretty ironical that the T20 champions of yesteryear, Sri Lanka and the West Indies, are playing in the qualifying round. Now, let's not forget Sri Lanka had to play even the last year. The last T20 World Cup that happened in the UAE, and also the qualifiers were played in Oman. So Sri Lanka has been going through a tough time in the T20 format of cricket, but now they're gradually finding their feet. Hopefully the next T20 World Cup, they might have an automatic qualification.
The good thing is they have recently won the Asia Cup, beating the sides like Pakistan and India, looking better under the captaincy of Shanaka.
Right, maybe Hassan Miraj. Now that average is over 50, which surprises me. And also his economy is close to 9 runs, but he is a very clever bowler. Maybe Hassan Miraj, remember when he made his debut in Test cricket against England as a young off-spinner, he was in his elements. And one thing that I did see in that last game, a quick single here. Oh, that's not good fielding. But only a single. One thing that I saw in him was, now this time they're running on an overthrow. This is not good cricket by Bangladesh, and that's a comedy. The man at mid-wicket doesn't pick up. Luckily, there is some cover, but that wasn't good out cricket by Bangladesh. Luckily, they're not under pressure. Another look at it. What do you reckon, Mudassar? This is not good cricket.
A bit sluggish in the field, Taskeen. First, there's a misfield and an overthrow and a couple of runs. The name of Basil Hamid.
The one thing about Miraj, Mehdi Hassan Miraj, is what I found is he bowls a very he's a good off-spinner who spins the ball, but he also gets a lovely drifter going. Nice arm ball that drifts away from the right-hander. Which tells me that he started to develop a range as an off-spinner.
Oh yeah!
Only singles at this stage won't help UAE.
But definitely with the single, the 50 comes up for UAE for the loss of 4 wickets. They're finding hard to get those boundaries.
They're doing it easily in terms of singles, and Bangladesh wouldn't mind it at this stage. It's not hurting them at all. 51 for 4 into the 10th over. They're going at less than 6 runs and over. And now the asking rate is climbing almost up to 12 runs. They're 11.70. Last ball. And they'll get a single, which means they'll get 6-7 runs in the over, and it's time for drinks with UAE 52 for 4.
वो स्क्रीन के नीचे
118 runs required from 60 deliveries. They have to go at slightly under 12 and over UAE to win this encounter. 52 for 4. Definitely not in a happy space. But after a little break, we'll come back with live action here. You see Chirag Suri, the first man out, wanted to go and hit something nice and big. Wasim, after 2 back-to-back sixes, trapped LBW plumb in front of the stumps, moved across. Aryan Lakra didn't reach. And the very next delivery, Vritya Arvind moving away from an incoming delivery, straight into the stumps. 4 wickets for UAE, and they definitely sound like out of tone. 169 Bangladesh, and look at that worm that's just crawling way underneath the green worm. That's a UAE worm. To talk about this and more, Tino joins me. Tino, good evening.
Good evening, Neil. Yeah, it's backs against the wall, unfortunately, so far tonight for the UAE. Just lost too many wickets. Who regularly be able to accelerate the score even in the first power play. That's why. Now 4 down, 52 at the halfway mark. All requiring 118 from the last 10 overs. Huge ask.
For sure. 7 bowlers have been deployed by the Bangladesh skipper. It's more like giving literally everyone a chance to go out. Going for the first one really hard. The second is on, and they'll take it. That intent was positive to go for the second. Rizwan, as soon as he hit that and Basil called, he knew that he was going for the second. Ooh. He didn't slide that bat in, did he?
No, he didn't. Eventually had it in by the time the ball hit the stumps. But yeah, how many times have we seen at this level that cardinal sin of not sliding your bat in, and how many times we've seen people out? Past the line, but bat in the air.
Will be a single there. I can tell you one thing, with these 2 lads batting, 80% of Kerala is watching this game. And one little state down south in India, where these 2 boys hail from, extremely proud of them, and they love them to bits. I remember when, let's come to that story. The skipper, CP Rizwan, he hit his maiden ODI century against Ireland at Abu Dhabi, and there were billboards put up in his town in Kerala.
Wow.
Showing CP Rizwan, the first Indian from Kerala to score an ODI century.
Wow. Keen following, of course.
Massive.
Nicely bowled with pace. Vadot. Yeah, just difficult times now for UAE. boundaries. Made 15 from 14, this one, 11 from 10. Target's still 115 away, 12 and a half to an over. Tough. That'll be wide, very wide.
And the keeper did well to collect that. Almost felt like it come out of some football goalkeeping drills. Rizwan 11 of 10. Basel 15 of 14. These two guys will have to hold this fort. Can't be taking risks at this point in time. Consolidate, build a partnership.
The problem they've got is consolidation period. It's just getting them into an even deeper hole. Beginning of the over, asking rate was below 12.8. All to go. It's now 12.3. Oh, that's well bowled. Just dipped away from the right hand at the last moment. End of the 11th, 57 for 4.
Right, 113 required of 54. Tino, you mentioned the required run rate jumping literally every over. They'll have to look for boundaries every single over. You can't be relying on those singles, those occasional doubles. They'll have to find boundaries. .58 on board. They've lost 4 wickets. And mind you, they have some hard-hitting batters who can really go big if the platform is set. You can't expect them to come in at this stage and start hitting. Probably need a little bit of structured batting. But then yeah, still that one boundary every over.
Yeah, well, 12 needed, they need 2 boundaries every over. What you're talking about is just that period that I was referring to in the last over. They've got to rebuild because they've lost so many wickets. The problem is they're halfway through the innings. The run rate's out of control.
Good boy, good boy.
High run rate anyway. It's the problem that they've got. Looks like they've almost resolved the fact that they're just going to play out the rest of this innings because I'm not seeing any intent from them. Certainly not the intent I'd expect to see, needing 13 runs to the over now. Oh, he's done well to get the bat down on that. That was very quick from Mahidi Hassan. Oh. Last boundary in the innings. Gives you an indication of how well Bangladesh have bowled at this stage.
Last ball going for a single. 62 for 4 after 12. That one tall Burj Khalifa amongst the other tiny little buildings, that's what UAE's Manhattan chart looks like. But I don't know if I still want to call it Manhattan. Looking at those tiny buildings.
Yeah, doesn't really give the imagery of a Manhattan. I found it going very difficult. Just 2 4s and 2 6s in the 12 overs that have been bowled. That's why that Manhattan looks like it does. Fadin back into the attack from the Mohammed bin Zayed road end.
This is the Dubai Sports City end.
Oh, right. Thank you, Rick. Nice at the end.
And first over, just gave 3. No ball called. All right now, there's an opportunity. You don't really have to worry about going big on this one at least. All right, umpire signaling a free hit. Let's have a look. How far was he? Just marginally. But that line belongs to the umpire.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could see that from the other run-out camera. That was in the way there, but it looks like it was over, short. No ball bounce. He's found the gap. He's played that really well because there's no pace on the ball. Had to make his own momentum and find the gap, and he did exactly that.
Well, yeah, that ball also didn't really come onto him that quickly. Just held onto the surface, waited and played. One thing for sure, didn't really have to worry about his wicket. A boundary coming in after a very long time. Almost felt like the boundaries had gone on a vacation. A single on the next ball there. Robin Singh. I wonder what he went and said to his boys when he went down during the drinks break. Did he tell them, listen guys, bat out the next 10?
I don't know what that'll do for the team, really. Because batting out, not trying to get as close as you can to the total, doesn't prepare you for a situation when you're close enough to the total and you need to try and get, for example, 7 or 8 to the over with the last few batsmen in the innings. Cricket that they be playing going forward from here, and of course they qualify. They've got to make sure that you're winning matches. And for me, I being in his shoes, definitely would have said, guys, got to try and go for this. Come short, we come short.
Beautifully played there. All along the carpet, 4 runs. The man who comes in next appreciates, and Basil Hamid, he's got going.
Nicely played. Yes, it's a full toss. Got to put it away. Just open the face to make sure it gets through that gap.
Maybe that boundary of the free hit got him going. Probably you just need that little impetus, that little momentum to start that machinery inside you that's been probably jammed up. Get a single there. A very good over from UAE perspective. 13 overs gone, 74 for 4. So at this stage, Bangladesh were way far ahead of UAE, 28 runs ahead and a wicket lesser. Very, very comfortable, Bangladesh. UAE definitely would want to make something of this game. And what is really interesting is that, yes, UAE batters are facing and feeling the heat facing those quick bowlers, but against the spinners also they're feeling trapped.
Spinners have bowled well, yes, but what might be in the back of his batsman's mind is if I get out, then there's nobody left to try and make an onslaught on us. But 14 and a half runs required to the over anyway. Opportunity to use this as batting practice. Say to yourself, listen, let's try and get 8 every over. How are we going to do that? We get a boundary and we look to run the ball around. If we get a boundary early, let's pressurize ourselves. Let's try and get 10 or 12 to the over. It's going to be very difficult to get to the total. Yes, we understand that, but make the most of that situation. That was rather close from one side for Dean.
Sabir is one now. Beautifully played. Goes straight to the fielder though. You're right, probably create a mini game out of this. Try and revise the target in your head. Bring it down to say maybe 150, 155 and try and achieve that if you can. That'll probably make them plan better as compared to what they have to achieve. Oh, he's gone. And went for the drive and dropped it. Yasir. These catches are not very easy when you have to dive in front.
No, they're not. Just took a bit of time before he started attacking the ball. Won't be able to see it in that shot, but when he realized the ball was dropping on him and he tried to get forward, it was too late. That goes. Here this time. In the air, along the ground.
They're just trying to tire Yasir out. Made him run a few yards on back-to-back deliveries. Almost again in the same direction, but a wide chord. Nasser, last delivery of the over. And will be a single to end the over. 14 gone, 80 for 4.
Six overs remain. Innings 3 for 4. Rate of 50. Wide from here on in. Batting department hasn't gone well for UAE today.
Oh, finally some UAE fans. Wow. Please go and give him a pat on the back. There's someone who's coming to support the UAE. Wow, this is interesting. My eyes were in the ground and I couldn't spot a UAE fan. Ibadat Hussain now.
Wapal, good Yorker. First up.
Both of these guys have put in 51 runs together. 32 singles, that's something notable. No, we are not watching an ODI. It's a T20 game. But well, you got to do what you got to do.
32 out of 51 runs in partnership. Singles. Another indication of how difficult the Bangladesh bowlers have made it for the UAE batsmen.
Basil Hamid, 33 of 31. He's one of those utility players that you would like to have in your side. Bats well. Comes in and bowls. And an exceptional fielder. Meanwhile, there could be a fielder who would come underneath this. No, he'll have to fetch it from outside the boundary line. A maximum coming in after a very long time. And it's Rizwan CB. No one expected that from him.
That's nicely played. I want you to have a look at this. He's gone deliberately up to ensure the ball gets over the boundary. Probably got a little bit more height than he would have wanted, but it doesn't matter. Result is a good one.
Definitely, yes. He's someone that you expect to take that innings long and deep. A six from him is always delightful to watch. 88 for 4. And 8 runs in this over so far. Can they get one more boundary? Get that entertainment quotient high. Get those runs high. Excitement coming in with that boundary. And look at that, green and red all across, and those are the Bangladesh fans.
Yeah, they've certainly come out in their numbers. Would have had their hearts in their mouths a couple of nights ago, but today, a different story. Bangladesh have turned up quite nicely so far.
It's a working day, but then put their work aside, probably calling in officers saying, I'm working from home. A single to end the over, 15 gone, 90 for 4.
Tough job for the United Arab Emirates team to go anywhere near the target, to be looking more to have some kind of damage control, reduce the margin of defeat. Nearest, as close to that target of 170 that they can get into. That would be something that will at least give them the fillip. This is UAE's best 5th wicket partnership in T20 International. So that says something. That says that they're going in the right direction. They're building up this partnership of 61, of 53 balls. They've made the batters work hard. They've kept this crowd a little quiet in the last few overs. There he goes. He is not going to hang about. He's not going to die wandering. It's gone the distance. Brilliant shot.
See, I think what UAE can do, let's give Rizwan all the credit for that shot. It was a very good shot. And this was Rizwan's second six, the slog sweep, taking on the left arm spinner and connecting it well. Well, they got 74 of 29. Now, in T20 cricket, that is possible. It's not out of reach. But it depends on who's batting and depends on what kind of batting muscle you have. But it's not over until it's over.
I agree.
T20 cricket.
I agree with you. It's just the fact that they have not been. I think the highest run chase was somewhere around the 170 mark, which they also lost by 2 runs against Bahrain, if I remember right. So it's going to be a tough ask, but they're going to make a fist of it, and that is good to see. They're not just surrendering. They're making an effort to go after the bowling, try and get the runs, garner experience. It all augurs well for their journey down under.
So I think that's what they need to try and make out of this, Shamin. Because what they got to understand is that really understand is that if you can't win this game, then what's your next best option? Learn something, get close, get yourself confidence, just carry some positives into the next game or the next series.
And, you know, we're talking about this being the best partnership, and look at that shot. just proper cricketing shots are getting them runs. This is good to see. Coming out of the rut they were early on, and they've reached the 100 mark. Gone on to 102 for 4.
Now it's a big over, 12 runs already. So now what do they need? They need 68 of 25 balls, so they need more than 2 runs a ball, so which means they need 16 runs an over or somewhere there. If they can get close, they'll carry that as a positive, even if they lose.
That's what I mentioned. Just damage control, close the margin of defeat, all the positives. And I think they're doing exceedingly well in encouraging the following matches. You know, if they come close to the target. Anyway, 16 overs gone, 104 for 4. Those big tall buildings gives you the semblance of Manhattan a little bit towards the end of the innings. Very, very poor start. Power play was not good at all for UAE, but they've recovered wonderfully well. I must say that the spirit they've shown in trying to go for that target, this partnership worth 75 or 59 has been a revelation. A lot of local support. VIP galleries, very lovely evening, nice and pleasant. I was out down there a short while earlier. Pleasant conditions to watch cricket in. Oh, almost chopped it on. Quick run taken. Safe.
This is a test I would like to see the UAE batsmen facing. Now, we do know that Saifuddin is not the quickest, he's not the slipperiest out of the fast bowlers. They do have Taskin Ahmed, they do have Ibadat who are much quicker. If there is one area that UAE hasn't really been tested at their level of cricket, is extra pace. So they've taken on the spinner, they've profited against the spinner. How would they take on the fast bowler towards the death as they chase? That's the test they need to pass here.
Well, just wide enough for the umpire. Little disappointing look from Mohammad Saifuddin, but he was just trying to slow the ball down. In the process, lost his line. But he may be the man that they could fancy going after. Not express pace, as you mentioned. And he's been suffering a little bit from injuries in the recent past. Coming back, he's trying to find himself at the moment. Not very confident in what he's delivering. So that is the opportunity for the batters to pounce upon. Ball. Yorker, that's what you want. Did well to dig it out.
Yeah, you could see that the UAE batsmen are very much at home when it comes to spin bowling. That's something that they face day in and day out. And it's a little bit of a handicap as far as they're concerned, because they lack that extra bit of pace in their bowling armory and in their domestic cricket. So that's an area, as they go to Australia on bouncier tracks, they're going to be tested.
Try to hit it hard. Just not that exact point of the bat where he wanted it. Timing not so sweet, in the process didn't really go where he wanted it, but the intentions were pretty clear. That is the refreshing thing about these two batters. They're not going to die wandering, they're going to go after the bowling. They're also mixing it with proper cricketing shots. On a couple of occasions in the Bangladesh innings, we saw them just going gung-ho at virtually everything. But these guys are just picking the right ones. Well, I don't know how far that's gone. Might just fall safely. He's lucky. Again, mistiming it.
See, another aspect that I like about the UAE cricket here is that they're not overwhelmed by the fact that at one stage they were 4 down for 29, and they could have been easily just cleaned up for something under 100. But the fighting partnership, this partnership now 81 of 64, shows you that they have character in their side. And they're a team that could kind of rise to the occasion.
You know, Roshan, you saw evidence of that even in the first game, when they tried to chase down 158. There were 8 wides and they lost by 7 runs. Shows you how close it was. What a fight they put up. Tried the Yorker, almost went wrong. It became a low full toss. Just managed to squirt it away. But it's just that not giving up and going whatever resources you have in hand, you utilize them properly and you be sensible in your approaches. You become a thinking cricketer and you use your techniques and your mindset to just ensure that you do well. Now he's suffering a little bit. It is pretty muggy out there.
Well, interestingly, this is the best fifth wicket partnership for all T20 internationals played at Dubai. So that is high praise indeed. When you look at UAE achieving that, and these are testing times. These are really tough times because it takes a lot out of the players. But worth taking a look at this partnership package where batsmen started slowly and then started to profit.
Yeah, they picked and chose their shot. They've initially got 21 balls without a boundary, but they consolidated themselves. They made themselves feel comfortable in the middle, and then whenever the opportunity like that came, they swung them around, they pushed them down the ground, played in the V, the shots all over the place, the slug sweep going over the top. It was a delight to watch. I think this is brilliant from these two.
Yeah, the good thing is they've played proper cricket shots. They're not been slogged, so to speak. They have been top order batsmen. Rizwan 41 of 26. Basil Hamid slightly slower, 37 of 35. But look at the partnership, 82 of just, 65 balls, which is very good from a UAE point of view. And interestingly, Shavim, 59 of 19 was exactly where Sri Lanka was when they beat Australia in the third and final T20 game, and Dasun Shanaka just took on and waded into the Australian bowling, and it was just finished as far as Sri Lanka was concerned. No chance whatsoever. And we did have the Australian bowlers and Hazelwood really bowling good lines and lengths. So anything is possible.
Yeah, and it would take a Sri Lankan to remember that innings and the numbers in particular.
How could you forget that? That was the defining moment. Oh, what a shot! What a shot was that! That was tremendous! Great improvisation. That was great batting.
Just the difference. I was just thinking about the last 5 overs of the Bangladesh innings when till over 15 they were dominating with the bat. But it's having a check. He deserves a 6 with that. Yeah, I think it's hit the triangle, the advertising triangle flush. If it has, it's a 6. If it bounced just before, very difficult to discern from here, from this angle.
I think it hit the triangle on the full. That's what I think. You got better eyesight than me, so...
You told me a couple of days back that I was colorblind. So
yeah,
how come
we're talking about colors, but we're talking about triangle here.
It's not our eyesight, it's what the third umpire thinks.
We're making the assumption, so the third umpire will tell us whether we are right or wrong, but it looks like hitting the triangle on the full.
Soon find out. This will get us a better view. Or maybe not.
See, the problem is that the triangle background is white and it's a white ball, so that's the problem. I think that's where we're struggling. I still feel it's on the fly. It's hit it flush.
And all UAE supporters are going with you. They won those 2 extra runs.
Yeah, those 2 runs can be critical.
Absolutely. Still waiting.
Oh, it's a boundary.
Oh dear, Roshan.
Sorry to disappoint our UAE supporters, but...
Okay.
Big over, Shami.
It's a big over, definitely. 17 overs have been completed, 115 for 4. We carry on into the last 3. Taskin Ahmed getting ready. Must be feeling very hot in this Dubai sun. Actually, I think he was telling me they went for Umrah to Mecca.
Just getting back to that shot, I think it's worth taking another look if it's possible. That was an amazing shot, that stroke. It deserved a 6. It was just a reverse kind of sweep, reverse shot. I remember Joe Root playing a shot like that against New Zealand when he got a 6 over third man. Very similar shot.
That shot is employed quite a lot, particularly at the depth. A lot of batters, that's one way. Hardly can put a fielder in that position. A swing and a miss. careless, not really going to the line, swinging more in hope than any conviction on that occasion. But he's done well. I don't blame him for trying a shot like that at this stage of the game.
He's got to go through his bat at everything now, because there's no time to try and settle in and play shots. Just can't take a chance. That Basil Hamid's shot was an amazing, one extraordinary shot. The last ball of the last over of Saifuddin that went over and very nearly 6 to third man.
And he's now got his highest score in T20 International. Basil Hamid has his highest score. He'll be pretty happy with that. Tried the wide-ish Yorker length ball, and he's not quite in a position. Had to really try and reach that. The batter in the process got the toe and
destroyed the wide.
maybe destroyed it wide. Yeah, tried it a little too hard. Maybe if he let it go, might have been. You're right. Could have been called a wide.
In cricket, you can never make a wide. But look at this shot. This is what we are talking about. This is the shot we are talking about. Just look at that. That is an amazing shot. It's his highest T20 international score, but that shot, to me, is the shot of the day. Simply an amazing shot. Using the pace.
They need more of that. 41 and 42, these two in the middle. Deserve 50s, both of them. Get it closer. It's a tall task. It's a mountain to climb for the United Arab Emirates, but the kids will go on supporting their team. They should be happy with the performance in the first game and a good fight back in this one. Tuskin. Oh, just out of range. Appreciated by his skipper. Short, and the batter, again, showing his intent a little too early. I got backing away.
See, this is the point I was trying to make about that extra pace and bounce. This is exactly what Tuskin is doing. He thinks that that's over the batsman's shoulder. He thinks that's one for the over. But that doesn't matter. It's simply done him for pace and bounce. Tuskin is someone who has pace and who can work up a good header scheme.
His extra effort in and goes across and stops the ball. This is good from Tuskin. He's a big guy. He's also had his injury problems, but he's a brave lad. Goes after everything. You see the way he ran across shows a lot of energy.
A brilliant comeback over after going for a few. That the last over, he's just bowled this over 5 balls for just 2 runs, which includes 3 dot balls. Now, let's take a look at that shirt. Virtually sticking to the body, and that's how tough it is. The conditions are. It's an energy sapping kind of condition. It was pleasant, as you said a little while ago, but it doesn't appear so with the players on the field.
And they're all running around, really working hard. 11 dot balls by Tuskin Ahmed in his spell. That is absolutely top-class bowling.
And into his third over.
Absolutely. And is that going to be? No, it's a single run. But what a wonderful over that was. Just the 3 runs from Tuskin's over. 18 done. It's 118 for 4. Coming to an end, this series, Bangladesh in T20 series in the last 12 months haven't really done too well. Just a couple of wins against Oman and UAE in the ICC T20 2021 preliminary. 6 losses. Against Pakistan lost 3, and Afghanistan drew it. Lost against West Indies, Zimbabwe, and in the Asia Cup. But will they break the losing streak? They should be doing it. They should be cruising to a 2-0 win, and that will bolster the morale. That will improve their spirits. This is how it stands at the moment. 169 for 5. Mehdi Hassan Miraj, outstanding. Good support from Liton and Mossadegh. And the bowlers doing their job when UAE came into bat. Still needing 52 runs from the remaining couple of overs. Ibadat tries to cut it, doesn't get anywhere near it.
Again, Ibadat's pace is up. He's bowling with good pace. Lines and lengths are good. He's a tall lad. Remember when he started, I watched him in the BPL. He was not quick. He was maybe around medium fast. But he's certainly added a yard or two. He's got stronger. You could see that his physique has got stronger. He's got more wiry. Looks a bit more muscular as well. Put on a few more kilos.
I think he's got a better rhythm. I think that is very crucial. One problem he still has is being a little erratic. He bowls 4 very good deliveries, then he'll bowl a couple which you'd be not talking about. See what I mean? This consistency is missing. He generates a bit of pace. As you said, he's a tall lad, and when he gets his wickets, I just hope he gets one, because you can see that salute of his a la Sheldon Cottrell, and when he takes a wicket, that's a celebration. He hasn't had a chance to do that today. Definitely will be hoping that he can. In there, and there it is. Now, are we going to have a look at Ibadat Hussain?
Doesn't look like he's going to salute. He's going to celebrate it in a more mellow way. His celebration is mellowed. He generally, as you said, he salutes and he generally shows off his delight. But this time, wide full toss, low full toss, slice down to deep point, and the 50-wicket partnership is finally broken. Separated. Good catch by Afif Hussain in the deep. But 90 run stand ends with Basil Hamid out for 42. Then 19 for 5.
Coming in now into his 14th match. Just 153 runs, a decent strike rate of just over 130. He's got a best of 55, so whatever balls he has to face, he will try to make good use of it, but it's unfortunate that Hamid got out. This was looking pretty good. Nice, good ball.
Very good over so far this. And the important thing about any fast bowler, or in fact particularly fast bowlers, is the fact that they should be able to bowl in all 3 phases of the game, not just the power play or the death. They got to bowl in the middle, so they need to bowl. It's a skill. It's about knowing how to bowl and adapt at different situations, because bowling at the power plays is different to bowling in the death and also in the middle. So Ibadat, you're talking about being a little bit erratic. Those are areas I'm sure he would want to improve and want to try and learn as he goes into this game a little bit deeper, because T20 cricket is something that every player wants to play today, because it's lucrative and it is the most followed format of cricket.
And he carries on bowling tight lines and lengths, and that's good to see. Oh, second run quickly taken. The fielder coming in from the deep didn't attack the ball early enough. I think there should have been some more urgency in the way he attacked the ball and picked it up. Gave that opportunities. The batters did well to spot that and get the extra run.
Bangladesh should have this easy now. 49 runs of 7 balls is asking for too much in terms of what UAE requires. But what UAE will take out of this game, as we've been telling you, is the fact that they have not been overawed by Bangladesh. They've not been sort of bowled over. They've not been rolled over. Still just 5 wickets down, 121.
Catch is the call, but it's going to go between those 2 fielders. No one's going to catch it. No one's going to stop it. And that goes to the boundary. And that brings up CP Rizwan's 50. Congratulations. Brilliant under pressure.
Well, outstanding innings by pressure in a losing cause though, but it is very, very satisfying for him. And I'm sure UAE would have ticked a few boxes in the process. They were done a little bit on the field with Bangladesh coming really hard, and then though they'll take something with them, particularly in terms of the last 5 overs, the way they stood up and restricted Bangladesh from something bigger than what they eventually ended up with. And here, as we said, after being 4 wickets down for nothing almost, they fought really hard, 125 for 5. And the maiden 50 for the captain, Rizwan. Sleepy Rizwan. He'd take over the captaincy.
Goes down the wicket, doesn't get a hold of it. Quick run taken. Again, alert to the fact the ball's travelling a little slower due to that mistiming. Good running once again. The other side of the coin, just before you put your other thoughts in, is the Bangladeshi perspective. They will be much happier today with a more emphatic, convincing win.
Well, this is Rizwan for you. Excellent knock. It's the maiden half century. And did make it in style. Some lovely shots on both sides of the pitch. The drives were good. The pulls were good. The horizontal shots. And interestingly, he was Shamim made captain at the 11th hour, just before this qualifying round. The Asia Cup qualifying round, that is. And I don't think he expected it, but he was just given the captaincy in the 11th hour, and then suddenly did come in. And
I understand he hasn't played 10 months prior to that, being asked to lead the country. That's how he scored his runs. A lot of runs square of the wicket on either side, 10 and 18. And deft touches, you can see that he's using the third man area pretty well. And we have had a bit of injury in the middle with Nurul Hassan Sohan just being hit awkwardly when he tries to stop the ball in the previous delivery. He's getting a bit of treatment in the middle. Hope it's nothing serious. He seems to be all right.
I think he's all right, thankfully. I don't think he wants to go off with just 4 balls to go. But it's important that Bangladesh ensures that every injury is kind of prevented and players are protected.
And he has had a share of injuries, just coming out of one. So this is a look at that one. Just the ball dying in front of him, I think. Yeah, and he's trying to just grab at it, snatch at it. And in the process, I think it's the tip of the fingers that hurt. Most of the unprotected parts, some areas can really hurt you. So you see he's still wringing his fingers.
It is a pretty painful area, I can tell you, where you don't really have that protection, as you said. Well, wicket-keeping gloves could have all the protection in the world, but still there are certain points which are not, and particularly at the edge of the fingers, the end of your fingers, the thumbs, and also just around the wrist. It's pretty painful.
We've got 4 more deliveries in this match, and the end of what has been quite an interesting series. The Emirates Cricket Board will be pretty happy with what's transpired. Tries the scoop, does get a bit of bat to it, and gets 4 runs. Well,
very ambitious, very, very ambitious. And I also thought that it was a bit premeditated. He was moving around on the offside, and he was looking to outthink the bowler. I think the anticipation was very good.
You know, most of these scoops or the reverses normally are premeditated, but it's how lucky you are on occasions, because he looked to be in a very awkward position, but still managed to get a bit of bat, or was it gloves? I don't know, a bit of bat, the face of it. So that's well done eventually.
T20 cricket has thrown up some amazing stroke play. Just simply amazing stroke play. Poachers of 30 years ago might be turning in their grave. Watching shots like
they're
this.
alive, they're pulling out their hair.
Of course, because, yeah, if they're alive, I'm saying, but I'm really talking about the ones of yesteryear.
Oh, didn't know where that was going to go. Got the inside part of the bat. Trickles away, thinking of a second run. Decides not too wisely.
Well, cricket's got interesting. Has got more attractive with the shots like this. But then it was a game where coaches would tell you, oh, it's a sideways game. You will bat sideways, you'll bowl sideways, and you'll feel sideways. That used to be the mantra of coaches of, say, the pre-88 era or pre-90 era.
Now it's full face.
It is now.
Look at his eyes.
You just see it and hit it.
Yeah.
They call it the hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, it's sad in turn for the bowlers on occasions because the shorter version. Oh, yeah, as I said, the bowlers can get a little annoyed with themselves and try something different in the process, lose their line. Yeah, it's tilted. I don't know if you agree to batters, a lot of things in the shorter version, not obviously the test match.
Yeah, because, you rather come and watch sixers than wickets. So that appears to be the theory, because T20 cricket is about entertainment. And that's how the game gets globalized. It's about entertainment.
I still feel that if you get a good man out...
That's for a man, that's for someone who understands the game.
So you think the people coming in not understanding
No, not here, but in the global stage.
Yeah.
They come out for the entertainment value.
Okay. No, Tuskin.
What's happening? What is he trying to do?
Well, he's trying to slow it down, bowl a wide-ish Yorker in the process. Lost it. It's sweating profusely. It is very muggy and is losing the grip on the ball.
35 of 2 balls, finish it off, Shami. What are you trying to do?
Just bowl straight, let them get a few runs. Doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
2 sixes wouldn't harm you. Well, it might harm your bowling figures, but not the result.
Yeah, you'd like another wicket. He's got a wicket, 1 for 20, decent enough figures. He started off with a bang, bowled really with a lot of pace. Tries it cheeky. I think he might not get that, yeah, because he was moving across to the offside, despite the fact it crossed that guideline. But the batsman was moving to the offside.
Yeah.
Umpire thinks, okay, that's
the
fair
trap
enough.
line didn't move.
Yep.
So that's all right. That's a relief. So just 1 more ball to go.
Last ball of the innings coming up. Bangladesh on the verge of a very convincing win. They struggled to win in the first game and they've come back to their normal self. You'd expect this on paper, much the stronger side. Gets a bit of bat on it. It's into the deep. They get a couple of runs. And here it comes, and that is it. The 20 overs of the innings for the United Arab Emirates has been completed. They reach 137 for the loss of 5 wickets, and Bangladesh winning this convincingly by 32 runs.
Well, it's a thoroughly satisfying performance as far as Bangladesh is concerned. Winning a series, a bilateral, which has eluded them in the past 12 months or so, and never really tested success the way they would have liked to, but this could be the point that they've been looking for. And this could be possibly the turning point. And the Bangladesh supporters will be hoping that they've just turned the corner as they go into a T20 World Cup. They've got a Tri-Nation series coming up in New Zealand. So that's going to be the next test for them before they really step into that big stage as they take on the top teams in the world, as one of the top teams in the T20 World Cup. So all eyes will be on that.
Yes, indeed, and Bangladesh will be very relieved. This 2-match series is augmented by the weather conditions in Bangladesh, where the team could not practice because of the rains. There's a request made by the Bangladesh Cricket Board to the United Arab Emirates Board, and the request was agreed to, and is very gracious of the UAE Cricket Board to invite Bangladesh over for these 2 games. I think it's helped their cause, and also I feel helped these young guys play with stronger opposition and play in difficult conditions and try and tune up the game, fine-tune their game, get ready themselves for the World Cup qualifying before the main tournament in Australia. So all in all, it has been beneficial to both the sides, and I think both the teams have done a good job in entertaining the crowd, have come in numbers, and I think these boys can be proud, and Bangladesh will be relieved, happy, and pretty satisfied with what has transpired today.
Yeah, it will be better for UAE. They'll enjoy the experience. They'll definitely be better for the experience they achieved here in the 2 games. and they'll take a lot of positives as far as the UAE team is concerned. Rizwan, personally, a very satisfying game as a batsman, though it would have been nice had they been able to finish off with a win, but it was not easy against the really top team.